Virgo, something could get revealed to you this month, shown to you, explained to you, that somehow seems to change your entire perspective about a situation. It's like, now that I've heard that, now that I understand that, now that I've been shown something, this changes everything. And what it seems to be doing for you, my love, is it puts you in a new, fresh perspective to start getting out there and pushing through any of the obstacles that you've been experiencing over the last while. So why is all of this happening, my love? Well, let's get to the cards. Let's shuffle them and wait on all the right ones to come along for you, my love. And in the meantime, let's talk about these unusual energies that are shifting you towards you making sure that you get everything that you want. And that's the big vibe. So why is it happening? Well, let's begin with what's happening at the start of the month. You've the Sun and your ruler Mercury joining Uranus in there in the 9th house in Taurus. And there's a feeling of, having a groundbreaking moment. It's like I've discovered something. I've found out something. Somebody has told me something or shown me something, or I've seen something, read something that has changed my perspective. Now, my next step, what I'm going to do, because I've seen or that I understand something that I didn't understand before, I'm going to take this and I'm going to use it to my advantage. And for many of you, you could be using it to your advantage within your career, your workspace, your career path, or when you have to deal with key figures of authority, like having to deal with the boss or a public representative, like a politician, a lawyer, or somebody like that. There's a feeling of, I can handle this situation and I can do it now because I've got something backing me up that they don't know about. So that's what I'm saying. It's like a key piece of information, or I know something that you don't know kind of thing. And you're working it. You're definitely working that this month. Now, just for a second there, for some of you, now we're all going through lockdown, quarantine, everything like that. It's not easy to travel right now. I know that. Some of you are quite worried about losing some travel plans, vacation plans, and the whole thing like that. But again, I see for many of you who are going through that, or feeling like you're losing foreign connections or foreign contact with somebody, it's like, I know something now that I didn't know before. And again, to solve this situation of where I could be losing out, I'm going to use this information to my advantage and work it and make sure I get what I want. So how will you be working it? So we've got a lot of energy moving into Gemini this month, into the 10th house. At certain points, we'll have Mercury, your ruler, moving in there. The Sun will be going in there. Venus is retrograding in there. We've the new moon on May 22nd in there. And we've the North Node of Destiny shifting this month into Gemini, into this 10th house. So there's a feeling, let's say, firstly, with your career, of I'm determined to start over by making the right valuable connections with these key or important people. I'm going to get talking to my boss instead of feeling kind of, I'm not in the office right now. Maybe if you're not able to go to work at the moment, the feeling of there's a bit of distance. It's like, I'll stay in touch with the boss. I'll contact them. I'll email them. I'll call them. There's a feeling of getting closer to the key people. So it could be a boss, it could be some other boss that you're kind of wanting to get in touch with to say, can you employ me? So there's a feeling of, I know from now on, it's the key people, it's the players, it's the ones who open doors, it's the powerful movers and shakers in this world that are going to help me get through a situation. And I'm going to really work it. That's what I feel, really, really work it. A lot of you realize that success comes when you're surrounding yourself with very, very boss type energy. You're saying, if I have obstacles in my life, the only way through this is to speak to the right people. Speak to the top. Don't speak to all the people kind of lower down on the chain of command. I have to go to the top. I have to speak to number one, the one that sits in the top office in the nice leather swivel chair. I have to go directly to them. So it's a feeling of, I have to directly speak to these key people, and they are going to open doors for me or get something through for me or moving for me. Excuse me. I feel for some of you, one of the things you want, there's issues around travel and education. So I do feel many of you really pushing that, speaking to some airline, an authority figure, a body, a group, maybe a board of education, and saying, look, I've gone through all my paperwork. I've gone through everything. Here are all the reasons why you need to kind of pay attention to what I need to happen. So you're really on it. You're really doing that. You're getting the key people to pay attention to you. And they like the fight. You've got a bit of fight and fire and a bit of determination in you this month to stand up and stand out and really be to these important people saying, no, take care of my needs. Now, there's a feeling of how do you do that? Well, I said to you earlier, a key piece of information might be helping you. It could be that somebody tells you secretly who it is you need to be speaking to. Like on any other occasion, they wouldn't be letting people know this, but you might pull them into a corner and say, listen, who do I need to speak to make this shit happen? And they'll say, well, ordinarily I wouldn't tell you this, but here's a number, call this number, email those, talk to that person, bypass all of that and speak to that person. So you're getting good information that leads to some sort of success for you. But with your career, I feel everybody's going through it at the moment with their career, but you are definitely seeing the obstacles. You're sitting down this month and you're saying, I'm not just getting blindsided or confused by this. I really need to find out what are my strengths, what are my weaknesses, what are my opportunities, what are my threats. You know that thing, strengths, weakness, opportunity, threats, and saying, what is the lay of the land here? What are the potential pitfalls and obstacles, and how the hell do I get past it? And who do I need to speak to around here to get what I want? Yes, so that is definitely the energy. Some of you could be thinking of becoming your own boss. Tired now of always depending on the work situation that you're in. You could work for a very powerful person, and there might be a moment this month where you say, is this person powerful enough, or could I start jumping up and working with a more powerful key player? There are power moves. That's what I feel for you, Virgo. All the success comes when you are identifying power and making power moves. And in some cases, certainly within your career, kind of squaring up your shoulders and pushing ahead, saying nobody gets ahead of me. I'm going to push through and I'm going to be the leader with something. I'm going to stand up and be number one. I'm going to stand up and represent something. I'm going to stand up and again be my own boss here, handle a situation, take on the responsibility of something because I don't trust anybody else to handle it. I'm going to handle it like a pro. Absolutely, absolutely. But there's some unusual connection. There's an element of having to be quite delicate. So it's like you're pushing ahead, barging ahead and getting what you want, but with the phrase that came to my mind of realizing that you catch more flies with honey than vinegar. This is not like rolling up your sleeves and punching your way through something like, give me what I want. It's not like that. It's more like, you know, like Terminator, I have detected my target. I am going to speak to this person and I'm going to charm them. And I'm going to speak nicely to them and I'm going to be personable with them. I'm going to be real with them. I'm going to kind of look at them straight in the face and say, look, things have changed, things are weird, you know. Let's speak to each other person to person here. So there's something quite amiable about you, something quite likable. Of course, I've no doubt about that, Virgo. Very likable about you because you're keeping it real and you're being confident, but yet being charming. And that goes a long, long way. But behind all of that beautiful Virgo charm, there's a fierceness. Behind that charm, I'm going to make sure I get what I want. So it's really interesting. I like it. I like it a lot. Now, I do see for some of you with the movement of Mars here this month, this thing of going through paperwork, really going through paperwork, going through the small details of something, paying attention to something, paperwork, documents, proposals, contracts perhaps, but it's like reading everything down to the last thing, because I'm not going to miss that one key thing that gets me ahead, that pushes me ahead in some way. I see some of you going through fine print, fine documents about taxes, insurances, debts, loans, inheritances, things like that. A lot of paperwork going on for some of you. But again, Mars then moves into your 7th house, and a feeling of being very, very determined and very forceful about sitting in front of somebody and again insisting through very polite demeanor, we're going to negotiate, we're going to, barter, bargain, and I know I'm playing fair, but really I'm really pushing to get what I want here. So you just keep pushing to get what you want, but it all begins with this kind of secret. It begins with a piece of information that it like changes your whole view of everything. Why shouldn't I do this? Maybe I was the type of person before who wouldn't push like that. Why not? Why not do that? Why not me? Why can't I be that person? A feeling of confidence, as a few cards come out there, a feeling of confidence to, again, this thing, why not me? Why just sit back and wait for something to happen? Why don't I make something happen? And you seem to do that. So as I said, some very revealing conversations could help you with all that energy, More cards coming out there. So I said you're dealing with authority figures and so on like that. So Venus is retrograding this month. Some of you thinking, and say Jupiter's retrograding this month too, some of you want to double back a little bit, and that's almost like recover something. Your passion for the work that you do, your passion for your life, it's like all the lockdown, quarantine and everything that's been going on has made everybody stop. But in some cases, this is like a very welcome stop for you, Virgo. Maybe you wouldn't have thought about it at the start, but now you're saying, wait a minute, in this moment where I am stopping, this is a great time for me to double back and think about what I'm doing in my career. Should I really follow the North Node of Destiny, who's now going into my house of career, and ask myself, should I bring more creativity into it, more flair, more design, more kind of something a bit fresh and a bit kind of, inspiring to the work that I do. I see some of you even wanting to change up your work. Again, designing something new, even if it's just designing your website or redesigning your image as you're promoting yourself out there. Some of you very interested in jobs that involve design or involve remodeling, redesigning, or beautifying something. So that could be nice. I like that. Beautifying. The aesthetic is everything to you this month. Changing up an aesthetic. I just feel maybe even some of you speaking to your boss or something and saying, I'm not saying very directly, but saying, couldn't we relaunch? Couldn't we rebrand? Couldn't we shift our focus? Couldn't we redesign? Couldn't we remodel? Couldn't we use this time to maybe double back a little bit and rethink the path that we're on? And again, if you're self-employed, it's the same thing that's happening. Couldn't I double back and rethink what I'm doing to bring back a bit more passion and flair into what I'm doing? This lockdown has brought some creativity out in you, and that continues this month. You're definitely not wasting your time this month. You're using it well to redesign. Okay, I'm waiting on 4 more cards here, my love. Let's get them out because they're the bigger vibe energies that are on. I'm waiting on 3 more. Oh, and 2 came out. 1 actually fell on the floor. Hold on, I have to get that now. Bear with me. Oh, it fell far away. Come up. Come up, come up, come up. Now this card fell on the floor. Then this one. And we need 1 last card. Okay. So my camera is doing strange things this month. All the exposure seems to be kind of weird. I don't know why. And we have the last card out there. So, my love, excuse me. Let's begin. Let's go over to your big Virgo grand. Ta-da! Your overview, my love. So, I said to you that something is changing. Your perspective is changing. It's almost like something that was very ingrained in you. This is who I am. This is my identity. This is what I stand for. This is what I believe. That's taken a whole turnaround. It's like many of you could change your faith. You could say, I used to believe in nothing, now I believe in something, or vice versa. But there's a feeling of, I'm totally changing. And that could begin with the sun at the start of the month, going into Taurus for you. Like, I've got to rethink my perspective completely on something, because at the moment, I don't think that I can stand by something anymore. I don't think I believe in a certain person or a certain work or a certain thing. I don't think I believe in that anymore. I need to dig deep a little bit here and find out exactly what I do believe in, ideologically, philosophically, politically, religiously, spiritually, whatever that may be, whatever allows you this kind of comfort to sit down and sit confidently in a good moral space, let's say that. There's a feeling of this is changing and it needs to change. Now, I'm not telling you it needs to change. This is coming from you. You're saying, I need to change this. So I had said earlier that some of you, dealing with key figures or figures of authority, there could have been a kind of shyness around there, or not feeling that you were somebody worthy enough to stand shoulder to shoulder alongside somebody, or to push forward with something, or to get through something. There's a feeling of, why did I let myself believe that I was so powerless? Why did I get so entrenched and stuck in this belief about myself? I think it's time to change that, because I'm too stuck in beliefs that aren't actually helping me through something. So you are definitely changing your mind, and the time of lockdown and quarantine seems to be doing that to you. It's like, now that everything is slowed down, it's like, what? Have I been living like this? What a freak show. What a waste of my time. I've got to change that. I've got to transform that. This is a Scorpio card, and with the full moon in Scorpio, it's like it could have been something you were told, could have been something you watched, maybe on the internet, read on the internet, or somebody said to you, that triggers this total turnabout in your beliefs. And there's something very uncomfortable about that at the start of the month, because to change from one system of understanding or one system of belief to another, that takes a lot. So it might be very, very uncomfortable for you at first. Even some of you might be kind of saying, but I don't want to. I want to stay in the old way of believing about myself, believing who I am, believing the narrative I had told myself, even if at times it was sabotaging my happiness, my success, and my ability to push through every obstacle. You know the phrase, better the devil you know than the devil you don't. There's a feeling of the conflict is there because you know it's time to stand up, take responsibility somehow, and really grow and blossom in a new, more confident and powerful direction. I just very strongly get that with you, Virgo, this feeling of, I have been letting others have the control for too long of situations in my life. I have sat back a little bit and played a supporting role to many people. And supportive roles are the key to everything. Behind every successful person, there is really the successful person pushing them from behind. But you're saying, why can't I have that level of control over my own life? I can tell my boss what to do. I can tell my family what to do, my kids what to do. But what about my life? Am I as confident in handling that like a CEO? Am I going to be the CEO of my own life from now on? I think so. So there's a big shift, a big internal shift happening. Now, on a very literal level, there are all types of plans being cancelled and changed. I said to you, travel plans could be one of them. This is a Taurus card. Taurus sits in your 9th house. Education plans that have gone awry, can't go to school now, can't go to college now, can't go and study now. Even for some of you, wanting to travel to do something spiritual, or even, hopefully it's not you, plans being cancelled for a wedding, or to do something very significant, like a real milestone in your life, to move abroad, or to sell a property abroad, or buy a property abroad. There's a feeling of, this isn't going to happen now. I'm not going to get my dream. And I find it difficult to understand why this has happened to me right now. But you will understand it. You will. But I feel this is the Cancerian card, but it's also the card of manifesting things. Cancer sits in your 11th house, manifesting something for a success. And that's what I think is going on. There's a doubling back here of retrieving and finding out what your passions were. What was I really passionate about? What did I really love to do? Who did I used to be? Where I really loved myself, where I really woke up in the morning and said, yes, I'm ready to go out and do that thing now. When did I get so tired of doing the thing that I once loved doing? I need to spruce this up a bit. I need to spice it up a bit. I need to bring my dreams back alive again. And even for some of you, it's almost like, a flash of inspiration. It's like, stop. We have to go back. We have to go back, like Back to the Future. Do you remember that? We have to go back. I have to go back and I have to retrieve my passion. I have to retrieve the thing I used to love doing, the thing I used to love most about myself. I have to go back and retrieve that. With Venus retrograding, maybe some of you going back to retrieve a job that you used to love doing, or going back to somebody that you once loved. There's a possibility that that might be very much on your mind, of trying to make contact with somebody and having a conversation with them and seeing if there's something worth starting over with. Now, I know that won't be for everybody. As I'm saying that, I can feel the horror coming out there. People saying, I am not going back. I'm not going back. But for some of you, there is that opportunity to do that. Let's go back and find. Okay, so this came into my kind of brain here. Let's go back and find the simple way of doing things. When life was happier, when life was better, when I was more passionate, let's go back and retrieve that and find that. I don't like the way things have gotten so complicated. Let's make it simpler. I don't like dealing with complicated people anymore. I don't like dealing with bossy people anymore. I don't want to deal with a certain person anymore who's very, very bossy or controlling. They have their uses, but it's too much. I mean, while they might be great on one hand, it's too much of a price to pay. They're a pain in the ass. So there's a feeling of, let's go back and take better control of a situation. I'm also feeling that here too for you, Virgo. It's almost like you've handed some control over to somebody. It could be a family member, a boss, a partner, a business partner. It's like, no, you take care of all the details with that. And that's been fine for a while. But now there's a feeling, I have got to get back control. I have got to reclaim that. I have got to bring all of that back and under my control, my management, and I'm directing it now. Because it gets too messy. I had given somebody something to manage or to have a level of control over, and they turned into a monster. And they caused me more problems than I was anticipating. So again, recover, recoup. I want my power back. I'm taking that back off you. Because, like I said, I was once grateful for the help, but now you're just becoming controlling, or you're controlling too much of a certain aspect of my life, and I want that back. So that's very, very strong. Now, mid-month. So we're coming to the full moon in Scorpio around May 7th. raring to go. This is fire, fire, fire and passion. Ready to go into the foray, ready to go in for the fight, ready to go into the competition, into the battle. There's a feeling mid-month of, I'm ready. And people might be saying to you, are you sure you know what you're doing? I'm ready. What are you doing? Doesn't matter, I'm ready. I'm ready to go. Ready to get into something with somebody, ready maybe even to fight with somebody, although I'm not really feeling a fight, but more of I'm ready to position myself in a stronger place. I'm ready for this and I'm going to push through. I'm ready for this. I'm ready to take up a challenge. I'm ready to take on something that I definitely wouldn't have done before, but I'm ready to do it now. I'm ready to compete with somebody, but compete for the win. I'm ready to go into the thick of something. And I've no fear. There's a fearlessness here. I'm ready to challenge somebody. I'm ready to maybe have that winning conversation with somebody. I'm ready to show something off. I'm ready to bring something out into the public. Ready to maybe take the first step into my own business or my own something. I'm ready. So there's definitely a feeling of I'm ready, I am ready, I am ready. And a feeling of dropping what you have been doing, like dropping it like it's hot because I don't want to do this anymore. The work, the responsibilities that you once had, the things that were all on your back. There's a feeling of I don't have to carry this anymore. I'm switching direction. I'm moving with passion towards something new. I've learned something, I've seen something, I've changed my opinion on something. I've seen that I've been sabotaging my life by not having that level of control that I need to have. There's almost like a psychic thing or an intuitive thing, feeling like you're being driven by spirit, driven by some celestial hand, driven by your ancestors, a feeling of it's my time to shine, I'm ready for this. I want the success, I want to shine. Excuse me. And I'm going to, no, it's almost like nobody's expecting me to make this happen. Nobody's expecting me to get through this, to win this, to get what I want. Nobody's expecting that I'm going to put myself out there with the big boys and the big girls on the major playing field. Nobody's expecting that. Nobody's expecting that I'll, march in and go right to the top and speak to that key person. Nobody's expecting it from me, but I'm going to do it because, again, the intuition, it's like, I wouldn't be surprised, Virgo, if some of you are feeling like you've been given some sort of divine message, like somebody has reprogrammed you somewhat and said, right now, Virgo, this is your new mission should you choose to accept. And you're like, I'm on it. I'm feeling the vibes. I'm feeling some change is happening in me where I am getting more control of everything in my life. I'm going to shock people. That's what I keep feeling. They won't see me coming. That's the other thing. It's like, it's all underneath. It's almost like secretive. You're going in, like kind of coming in kind of from the back way. It's like they won't see me coming in. They won't notice until I'm ready to strike, and then there I am. Wow. Wow. Some secret talks, secret things, secret maneuvers that are going to put you in a prime position. Now, we're coming towards the end of the month, and again, this feeling here of, here's what I want to lock down. I want to lock down some peace and quiet and calm in my life. I don't want to be fighting with people anymore. I'm tired of this conflict, this bickering, or a resentment I'm holding towards somebody that I would have once seen as somebody trustworthy or dependable. Maybe I've given them some level of control over an aspect of my life. And now there's a resentment breeding. Now there's it's unsettling me. And I'm afraid that if I don't handle this, I'll end up cutting ties with them. And it could be like family or somebody that you really love and you're like, I don't want to have to do that. I don't want to have to do that. I know that if I'm pushed a little bit more on this subject, I will lose my shit. And I will make them cry for days and days and days, and then some more days. And I don't want to have to do that. I don't want to do it. I don't want to do it, but I want my peace and quiet back. In some cases, for some of you, I want my calm and happy home back. For some of you, now not all of you, there could be a bit of a fight. Maybe if you're co-parenting with somebody, there could be a bit of a tension mounting over the issue, as I was saying, about children. For some of you, not all of you, an issue mounting, some heat coming up there, and you're saying, I'm taking responsibility here because I don't want to fall out with the person I'm co-parenting with. That's going to get us absolutely nowhere. But certain things have to change. I need to feel more steady and secure in a certain situation. You're ready to go. It's like you've the nights. It's like we are ready to go. New ideas, new passion. It's like I'm ready to run with this idea. Now that I've got the information, now that I have my passion back, now something has revealed something to me. As I said, it could even be spirit revealing something to you, or somebody telling you something. Now that I know what's going on, I'm charging in. Now, sometimes this card represents a juvenile. Again, going back to this issue over children, something needs to be revisited. Maybe a conversation that you have with a child. There's something might be said in it and you go, no way. And you kind of have to tackle somebody about it, you know. It might be something very minor, like every time they go to visit a certain family member or whatever, that's, you know, that they feel like they feel like they miss you or something. And you're all, well, why did nobody tell me that? Why did nobody let me know that you were feeling a certain way? I'm going to tackle this. I'm going to handle this. So there's a lot going on. All I know is that we're leaving the month with you very fired up and ready to go. I'm being quite supported, I feel. Somebody telling you something in a secret, a whisper, or even, like I said, a spiritual feeling that's happening that's saying, Virgo, line up at the gate because you're ready to go. You're ready to go, and you're ready to put yourself in a position of leadership, power, and authority. It's going to require a lot of hard work. It's going to require a lot of determination, a lot of resilience, and a lot of force. But it seems you've been given the green light here, Virgo. No obstacle is too great for you this month. You're on it and you're chomping at the bit to make a win, make something happen. And that feeling of, I know this is going to be hard work, but I don't care. I'm willing to put in this work to get what I want by the time all of this is over. So it begins now. Virgo, I love it. Very fierce energy going on with you. And I mean it. God help anybody who dares to stand in your way this month. God help them, because they'll be left standing. They won't know what's hit them. It's like, I'm taking power back from you, bitch, from you, from you, from you, from you. I'm not going to tell you what I'm going to do. You'll see it when you see it, and then you'll be shocked when you see it. You'll be shocked at how I handled everything like an absolute and thorough pro. Virgo, very strong energy. I love that. As an Aries, I can appreciate that energy. So keep it moving, keep it rocking, and get what you want from it. And enjoy, excuse me, the results of your hard work that you seem to be beginning this month. So, my love, let's leave it at that for this month. But you know, these are just the general energies. To get into the nitty gritty, the real details of what's going on, particularly with your relationships, for those of you in a relationship, for the singles, where's all this passion and love? If I'm stuck at home, can I meet love? Perhaps we can talk about it. We can figure it out and see if there's love energy in the air. We're going to talk about your career and your money. Big focus on career, definitely. Healing some issue between your money and your career. That's also going on. Family, friends, home situations, and everything we don't cover here. We'll go deeper on the deep read on Vimeo. How do you get to it? Same way as always, my love. Go down to the description box. See where it says Virgo Deep Read. There's a link there. Click onto that. Come on over and I'll meet you over there, my beautiful, and we'll get stuck in. But if we are going to leave it at that, have a wonderful and very powerful and proactive month this month, Virgo. And as always, my beautiful, I will leave you with all my love and a great big kiss for success for you with all this hard work. Mwah. Until next month, my gorgeous. Bye.